What's up, guys? It's the Wolf. It's still hot. I'm still claiming the West Side. Well, on the East Side, and the North Side, and the West Side. We're gonna claim all the sides. You know why? Because we wolves don't really care where you come from as long as you act right. Everybody's welcome to eat. If I eat, you eat. Iron sharpens iron. Wolves game up wolves. So here's what I'm thinking when it comes to right to travel. I'm always rereading their codes, their legal level, their information, their blue book, red book, constitution, codes, laws, edicts, and whatever else. And one of the things I came across some time ago was what's known as a reciprocity agreement for right to travel. Let's take a look and see what we can find on such a thing. What does it even mean? What does it all mean, Basil? I don't know. But my fellow wolf, I'm willing to take a gander with you. So let's see what this means. Oh, share the screen if you don't mind. Hey, Sam, I'm stepping away. Let's see here. Uh, a reciprocity agreement is a formal arrangement between two or more states that allows residents to avoid paying taxes or meeting certain legal requirements in both states, simplifying compliance and preventing double taxation. That's one version of it. Reciprocity in vehicle registration refers to agreements that allow vehicles registered in one jurisdiction. Are you guys seeing this? One jurisdiction to do what? To do what? What? To operate in another without needing to register again, to register again, primarily governed by the International Registration Plan. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. So let's go to their website. We'll be right back. Huh. Okay. Okay, well, this took an interesting turn, so hold on. Let me non-apportionable or exempt vehicles, page 6. Looks like all of the states, including Alberta, BC. So this is why they can give you a ticket if you're from Canada and you're down here because they joined this group. So exempt vehicle are recreational vehicles, vehicles displaying restricted plates, a plate having time. What does that mean? Geographical area, distance, or commodity restrictions. Government owned vehicles are not approachable vehicles, but nevertheless, they may be registered. So, once again, you can elect to do that. Such vehicles weighing less than 26,000 pounds registered through the IRP instead of obtaining non-apportioned registration from both the base jurisdiction and other jurisdictions where interstate operations occur. You may register a vehicle in Wisconsin if you have an established place of business here or if you're an operator. So when you register your vehicle, you're joining this. So this is how they residence means a status of an applicant or registrant as a resident of a member jurisdiction. So when they say the word residence, you guys don't understand there's more behind it. You're an applicant, you're a member, and you're a resident of their jurisdiction. It's not open to the general public, so you have to be a large entity. Okay, it says these are for larger vehicles, but nonetheless, it did say that smaller vehicles could register. Private citizens, so they do recognize that term right here. Individuals using personal vehicles for non-commercial purposes, this is what we're doing, are not eligible for IRP registration. So the fact that they even mentioned this way tells you it's a real thing. If you are a private citizen or an individual using personal vehicles for non-commercial purposes, you're not eligible for the IRP registration. This is what we are right here. I didn't even mean to find this. So what are they telling you? What the are they telling you guys? They're telling you that only large entities like states, municipalities like that, states primarily, lowercase s here for states, countries can join. You somewhat join when you take your private citizen ass, non-commercial vehicle, turn it to a commercial vehicle, and you become a member of the state, and then they are a member of this IRP. So if they're telling you you are not eligible as you when you stay private, then you're really not eligible for commercial stuff. But they did say you can join. But they're telling you right here, as a private citizen using your vehicle for non-commercial purposes, you are not eligible for the IRP. Are you seeing it? This is one of the only places I've ever seen this. So when a cop says, "Oh, you can't do that stuff," well, if they're saying that if they're here, they're saying it's a thing. Private citizens using their personal vehicles for non-commercial purposes are not eligible. If they're saying this, that means without the eligibility, take that off the table, private citizens can then do what? Use their personal vehicles for non-commercial purposes. Boom. That ass though. Who can apply? The applicant must be a business entity. Ah, so a private citizen is not a business entity and is not eligible to join. However, your business entity can, because businesses can only really do business with other businesses, corp to corp, or a commercial operator with a valid business registration in the base jurisdiction. So, Levitica national government, because it doesn't say public or private can't can do it or can't do it. They're just saying a business entity. So my entity, Levitica National Government, can join the IRP. If I join the IRP and I submit educational purposes only to them and become a member of theirs, submit my license plate, technically I should then be entered into their database and they should not bother me. But let's keep going. This is only hypothetical. I'm just giving you education, something for you to do more research. The application is processed through the Secretary of State's office in the base jurisdiction, i.e., Illinois Secretary of State, for vehicle registration. You must provide business documentation such as a 2290 form for certain vehicles. And proof of residency in the base jurisdiction. Key takeaway: a private citizen cannot join the IRP unless they operate a commercial vehicle for business purposes and meet eligibility criteria. For personal non-commercial use, IRP is not applicable and the vehicle should be registered under standard state rules. If you are a private individual and need to register a personal vehicle, you should follow your state's standard registration, not the IRP. So what are they saying? They're saying that if you want to be a part of them, you have to go through your state, who is the regional membership provider. If your entity meets their criteria and you're going to operate your vehicle commercially, say hell, even maybe for you Uber or something, you created your own business, you're doing Uber stuff or whatever, you get what I'm going with it. It can join the IRP. Form 2290 must be filed for highway motor vehicles with a taxable gross weight of 55,000 pounds or more that are used on public highways. Well, most of us, I don't think we need any of that. Okay, so now let's get back to the show. So that was interesting, some new stuff there. A lot of times I already had a show, my this going here going in a different direction, and then this kind of brought in some new information to also possibly being used. But then brings me back to where I wanted to go with this. So that being the case, keeping that in mind, this is not exactly based on what we just learned, but it grazes it a little bit. Okay. So here's my thought. Here's what I'm going to do. By the time you see this, it should be done and in the mail. I'm going to create my own reciprocity agreements. Go to I like to go to Perplexity now. I don't use chat because they suck all the but Perplexity has been doing pretty good with me, especially with like court cases and things of that nature. Also, Open Case is a good one to use. Um, what I notice is that nearly all of these states say that there's a Secretary of Transportation for that state, the for-profit version of your state. Okay, commercial side. And they all somewhere in there lightly mention that whatever state or jurisdiction you're hailing from, there should be a reciprocity agreement in place or one should be provided. So maybe even though we've been doing right to travel right, what about creating a reciprocity agreement where, like, I say, my name, am the CEO or Supreme Chancellor of Levitica National Government. I'm registered with the government. Here's my entity's name, or in some cases, here's my entity's name and EIN, and I'm offering a an agreement, reciprocity agreement between my entity and your entity, so that my our entities vehicles that have their own plates and are considered private are recorded for mutual peace treaty, mutual non direct alliance, agreement, accord, something along those lines. Enter your word here. And that if you want to place it on record, so that if in the case of running into a member state or law enforcement, because we've seen that now with the IRP, that they understand that we are not a belligerent and combatant, but private individual not doing commerce. Keep a copy, mail it off, see what they say. Because once your state enters in your vehicle's plate, that really should satisfy everything. Now, should you put your address on there? I would say yes. I wouldn't personally put the zip code and I would put America behind it or non domestic, but I would put the name of your entity, maybe even your contact number or P.O. box, depending on how anonymous you want to operate. Because I noticed something with the city years ago where it said if you're going to be doing anything private or like private travel or whatever else, it should be your information should be put on file with the city or county. That's what they said. Now, do we have to? No, it's not a law, but it's mentioned as under a statute and a code. So if you read it, you know it, and you want to play nice in the sandbox, here's how you go about it. Will this help? Will it hurt? Couldn't tell you. I'm about to do it myself right now. If they message me back, good or bad, at least I made my attempt. Doesn't mean I'm a standing member because I'm not asking for IRP per se membership, though I could. I know how to do it now. So if the state is like, nah, you can just go right to the IRP. Because it said, if unless I'm misquoting, for vehicles underneath 2,600 pounds, you can register it. You don't need to. They're always willing to take a little, but let me see. We didn't find out if there's a fee. Let's see if there's a fee. Let's go back. There's almost always a fee. So basically, it's like this. If you join, they get a percentage of what fees collect. So there is no flat joining fee. So I guess if you say that you only collected a fee one time for your vehicle, but then again, do you have to have a fleet of vehicles? It didn't say that. So that's one way to go. It's an option, I guess, for me. I'm going to start off with sending my own reciprocity agreement to the Secretary of Transportation for my state. If you guys want to do the same, Go for it. Play nice in the sandbox. I'll talk to you guys later.